DJ Prof apa change radio Zimbabwe nasi ndenge ndiri ku live kuma sese yakasiyana siyana because ndine special guest ama special akomana ini nasi unoga apa ndenge bali kutapira bana ndatanga ndati masora sei handidika mamuka sei ne vamwe masikati kunge kwanga soko soko muri handidika vamwe ndvari kuenda kumabasa vamwe ndvari kubva kumabasa vari kuenda kunorara vamwe vari kugadzira kudya kwemanheru vamwe vari kuona nezvakasiyana siyana handinofunga ndasuna hakuna bhora nditi imani ndaditi maybe kune dzimwe nyika dziri kutamba bhora vanofarira bhora unge inini so zvanzi ngapinde mujaha ngangene mukomana akuzotina mango atichupa nhau zvakasiyana siyana zviri kuitika munyika yeZimbabwe muri kuona mazwi ari pasi pediti rangu pasi pechifuva changu nhasi ndiri kutaura nevasikana nevakomana veZinasu Zimbabwe's National Student Union vakabata mastudent ese pakaipa kani nenguva dza8 kani hatichange tichitsikwa zvakane triple C leadership yeyouth yanitika hanzi akunzi machampions nhasi ndauya ndakapfeka mabhanana Thank you, Alamilovo. And Sandri Hama. Nakatobeka nditi kunjani kona ngale mfowethu. Athina siyaphinda kona lapha. Ngapinde zvake mukoma. Akomana pakaipa bana. Kuti ndinyatso kubatanidza zvinhu zvacho zvinyatso kufamba nditi ka. Tendere mberi zviri kuitika nditi ka. Vanzi vekukupa kisi munangagwa vati ngapinde hake mukomana wovekupa kisi hake munangagwa. Good night DJ. Thank you Mr. Milton Zindoga. Tinotenda ramba muchipa makomenzi musakangana manje so ndikupai mukana wekuti munge muchitaurawo zvakare nevakomana nevasikana veZinasu handiti kunyanya mastudents kunyanya iwai mastudents ati padiaspora handiti muda kuziva kuti chii chiri kuitika paground handiti hanzi musikana uyai wekurova speech pamutara apa hanzi musikana waye anga akanyanya wewe hanzi toda kumuona tinzwe kuti chii chiri kuitika kati alright manje achamisa hoye muzukuru weshanduko atiri kusibhenda because ndozokuda kuzofarisa. Alright, nasu unokaita taura kuti ndizvini kutaura nevakomana nevasikana vezinasu. Regai nditange nekupa mukana kuti ndingonzwa an intro. Zinasu, hello.
Hi, Prof, how are you?
Yes, did it right. Could you say?
Moshe, right. Unfortunately, I can't get hold of the Zinasu SG. I'm trying to contact him now, but he'll be joining us soon.
It's fine. I think by the time tikataura tombomira tombonwira mvura vanhu vachimbidzwa mumhanzi, but I think by time yatinenge tapedza vanenge vasvika. Right. Zinasu, I think you can just introduce yourself and maybe with anyone around you, or if you're alone, you can introduce yourself then to excuse me,
Oh, all right. Thank you, Prof. I'm Nancy Njenge. No longer with Zinasu though, but still within the students' movement, working with the Student Solidarity Trust Zimbabwe, where we support victimized and persecuted students. I'm the former Gender Secretary of the Zimbabwe National Students Union, succeeded by Olin Makoni. You saw her at the Manika Land Rally. Yeah. So I'm currently working with the Student Solidarity Trust, and I would love to take this opportunity to invite you guys to follow us on Facebook and Twitter, and I'll be saying more as we move on.
So thank you so much, Nancy. You came to Mawea Kunoku. I know that you are traveling to student. Obviously, discuss how can we make education better in our country in our lifetime. I think I think students diaspora what exactly, I know there's some platforms that no sangana nevanu and so forth, but I think just to give a brief of what is Zinasu, what do you stand for, and before we go into details about the linkage with the CCC. Yeah.
All right, thank you. So the Zimbabwe National Students Union stands for students in all areas of interest, like any area of their interest. We envision a free and democratic Zimbabwe with students as integral stakeholders, where student contents are addressed and academic freedoms upheld and uplifted. In similar terms, all I'm saying is we represent students on campus in every area of your interest, and we advocate for safe campuses, that is campuses that are safe from sexual harassment. We advocate for free education, accessible and affordable education. We advocate for your social welfare, for improved social welfare on campus.
Hai murikuwanzwa kana vasikana vacho kuti vari kuziva zvari kuita kufamba nebhora, ndo vakanga vari former gender secretary vakatsiviwa kana kuti was succeeded by the one wamanga muchindibvunza masikati ese naye wakomana DJ musikana uye wekutaura pamanikaland uye. This was the former ndiye akaitwa succeeded naye. Murungonzwa kuti kugenda kwacho ikoko hakuna kumira zvakanaka, but anyway regai timbonwira mvura a bit. We'll come in details about what we need to discuss today.
Thanks, Nicole.
Zimbabwe mane Zimbabwe yakadaira kuti chamisa kupela vakangene mujaha ematokoza kurumane ejube ati makangene ujaha hanzi vana wezhire vakati pinda zvako mukomana makandire murumbwana makangene achamisa hoye damba refu kubva mukomana muzviti muzukuru wetriple C fama netriple C band nasu ndiri kutaura nevasikana nevakomana vezinasu Zimbabwe National Student Union vakuda kungotaura kuti vakomana pakamira sei panyaya education yedu paZimbabwe tiri kunzwa kuti maticha hakuna tiri kunzwa zvakare kuti mafees acho ndo anenge akushedze ndakaona imwe yanga yakanzi 119,000 something ndakarohwa nehana hana yangu yakarohwa nehana Netsi right vanhu vangada kungoziva handitika kuti izvoni since you are representing students nyaya ndabva mukutaura manje nei inyaya inobata vanhu vakawanda I think inobata kana nemi kuti what are you doing in terms of yekuita representation nemastudent looking at the issue yekuti ma-teachers are not going to mabasa. I know yours is more like tertiary students, but ndikutaura zvema-teachers asikuenda mumabasa, and at your side at tertiary institutions kune ma-exorbitant prices ari kuchargwa for school fees. What can you say? What's your comment, or what are you doing with regards to that?
Hi, Prof. Can you kindly allow me to wait for the SG maybe for 5 minutes? You have a more informed position on that. All I know is they have tried engaging the ministry, and I've seen various institutions protesting against fees hikes. For example, the University of Zimbabwe, they recently had a protest where 10 students were arrested and they spent 2 nights in police custody. So if we can allow the Secretary General to join and say what's their plan is as a union. If he is not here, then I will explain. So we can just give him 4 minutes now.
Takamira SG ngataure nezvaunoziva. You are a former gender secretary, and we know you are part and parcel of the wave of change that is a new baby that just been brought, led by Advocate Nelson Chamisa. And can you just maybe comment with regards to what's the link between Zinasu and the new wave, the generational consensus?
Oh, the only link between the Zimbabwe National Students Union and the CCC is strictly on ideological basis, where we are both social democrats. Yes, President Nelson Chamisa hasn't released the ideology as of yet, but in as far as we know him, in as far as we know the movement, we were all social democrats, and that's the mutual link between us. So we advocate for the poor, we stand for the poor, we stand for the masses. We need better welfare for all citizens. We need affordable education for all citizens. We need affordable healthcare for all citizens. And improved life generally. So the Zimbabwe National Students Union and this new movement, you have a link. You have a link on ideological basis only.
That's great. I think people are hearing it. What you are saying. I hope people whoever want to ask questions, you can just post your questions on our comment section. Then you should be able to answer. But like you have heard that she cannot now speak for the current Zinasu because of some of the things, logistical changes that have been happening or leadership changes. She's a former general secretary. She can only answer of the things that she has done. Right. So there's one hot property that has just happened today, Nancy. One hot property which you also know. Dr. Thokozani Kupe today stated that, or people are thinking that Dr. Dozan Kupe has joined the movement. What's your comment on that?
Disclaimer, I will not speak on behalf of Zinasu or the SST on this. I'm speaking in my personal capacity. What I think about Dr. Thokozani Kupe joining the movement is that she is free to join. As the president always says, this is a big thing. So we really need her votes and everything. What I'm against is her coming back to take up leadership positions. The information needs to be secure. She has to come, join from the branch, join from the grassroots. Citizens choose their leaders. We don't need this thing of imposing leaders, because I think that the MDC was destroyed by this imposition of leaders, where we just take people, elevate them to positions, and this is a democratic movement and people really need to choose their leaders. So yes, if she wants to join, she can join. We need her votes. We need her few people. Yeah, she had the people. Look at her when she addressed. She had some people with her. We need those people to vote. We need those people to contribute to our votes, because their votes will also help us in getting victory. So yeah, she has to come on board. But then she doesn't have to hold a position. If she's really serious about change, let her join without any position. And if people like her, then we will see when elections come, when Congress come, people will choose their leader.
Hanzi shoko riri kufamba kuti mukomana ngaapinde, hanzi yellow for change, yellow bond for change. Hanzi shoko riri kufamba, muri kuona nhesi ndini ndakatorwa mabanana, hanzi pamabanana ipapo. Saka ndo zvatiri kuita nhasi uno. Saka mira timbonwa mvura tichimboona kuti tingaita tichiendera mberi nechirongwa. Hanzi iko zvinezvi vanhu vakutoziya manje kuti zano yakapera kare. Saka watosara ndiwe wega unenge uri ikoko kwaunenge uri, kana usiri kusapota, kana usiri kutera triple C. kufa kwatalende nekufa kwachiminya zvinhu zvakakonzerwa neumonde umonde wezanup yakadeura ropa rakawanda umambo hwayo ndovasvika kumaguma nekuti yellow for change triple c yauya kuipa kwese kwese chete chete komana ngaapinde zvake vari kutiona pachivhitivhiti apa Facebook live paYouTube pedu nepazimai zvakauchamisa wetu siyamthanda mnevizimbunga. Thank you so much. Chimbo icho chinonzi chii? Kanonzi umambo wezano hwakapera kare. Ndai munokatsvaka. Kana musina kukaona ndibate muinbox. Ndinokupai kambeka. Masiti mbandure. Wazadza mukomana. Kuti pa. Pa open space ipa. Anzi nasisinenzi chechepa dzaizara. Chechepa spemuti. Citizens wose akatijoina ine atisangane tibatirane pamwe chete zvinokozvandifungisa ndiri pedu pamasvingo pamutendi tichirova jiti paZTCC ipapapo haimi babaimi dhasi richida kupfumbuka ruva zvekuti kana ndakubuda imomo mukaona ndechingooneka mazino chete ndabva kunotsava kunojaivha kunodzana vakomananzisa hashtag tive kuinbox takuda songo ndinokupai manje mirai ndinokupai nhamba munokupai nhamba dzangu kana muchida kamboika kakati ndinokupai manje ndina gesi iri panapa saka ndichida kukanganisa gesi iri panapa ndokupai kana takuenda kunovhara chirongo triple C ndedu vanhu heka ndokuti Citizen Coalition for Change itriple C ndedu vanhu Nancy ngatiuye pa nyaya iri kuitika yakaitika panapa yandanzi ndevanhu zvakandifanirwa ndichitaura nezvayo kuti toda kunzwa kuti mastudents ari kuti chi especially in solidarity with madzibaba veshanduko madzibaba vanonzi madzibaba veshanduko vakabatwa nokurwa nemapurisa mapurisa akambozama kuti kuvapa mhosva dzavakanga vasina kunge vachiita. So what is your comment with regards to that, Nancy?
Well, this is not something that is new in this regime. This regime actually uses arrest and persecution to silence opposition activists and anyone that speaks against the government. Anyone that speaks sense, actually. usually faces that. So Zakatika Baba is not something new. We have seen when Joanna, they are still suffering in court day in, day out, court. We have seen Marcos spending almost a year in court. We have seen other activists spending more than 2 months, 1 month, or even 5 days in prison, in police custody. So it's not something that is new. Inyaya yekutoti isu sema-citizens tichibatana tichitoona kuti no, we are fighting against one enemy, an enemy who is against progress, an enemy who wants to silence all opposition activists, an enemy who wants us to suffer forever. So my general comment would be, we need to unite as citizens, because we know that nasi ndimazi baba mangwana anogona kuva iwe, anogona kuva inini. As long as you want change, as long as you want a better life for the future generations, for yourself, for your children and all. So what we need to do as citizens is to speak out when one of us is in trouble. Mas Baba right now needs us way more than ever. He needs us, and Tikava supporter, it inspires others also. So what we're trying to do is build resilience from our systems edu, from students, from youth, from everyone. We need to be resilient, because pavanoramba vachititsimbirira isu tichichuka vapawo nekuramba takanyarara. Pavari kuramba vachititsimbirira, let's speak up, let's stand up for ourselves, and let's challenge this regime, because tikaramba takavanyararira vari kuwana power. But the moment that we raise our voices, the moment that we challenge this injustice, pekuti patisho kuti isusu kana madzibaba vasiri free, then tese hatisi free. It means kuti government inobva yazviona kuti no, we are serious about change. So we really wish Baba a quick recovery. Struggle, and struggle yese inorwadza in some way. So we really wish him a quick recovery. We hope that vamwe vanhu hapana achaita under the same fate. We really hope that this government reforms, which is unlikely, but in the event that anything like this happens, we only have one option as citizens, is to unite against this government, is to unite against the perpetrators of violence. I don't know what's wrong with the ZRP. We are also speaking up for them. They are earning like I don't even know. They're earning something like 19,000 years, which isn't enough to take care of the families, to send their kids to school. So when you speak up, I really wish that people just had.
Sorry, Nancy, I think you're just breaking a bit. You are breaking a bit, or someone is listening for the love in your room, or someone is listening to you while they are online in the same room. Try to solve that. Then you can come back. I see that I've got another guest here, if I'm not mistaken. Let me check quickly. Do I have another guest here?
Yes, you have.
Yes, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Can you just show us your face 1 minute and then greet the viewers and listeners, and then we can start speaking.
Thank you very much, Professor Mapendere. My name is Tapiwana Chiriga, and I'm a former Secretary General of the Zimbabwe National Students Union.
Thank you so much. Thank you. You're welcome. You're welcome, champion Tapiwanashe, or rather citizen Tapiwanashe. You're welcome. And we're just speaking about the issue of Mazibaba, the abduction, and also that Mazibaba has suffered in the hands of the police just a few days, if not a week ago. Any comment with regards to that?
Thank you very much, Professor Mapendere. I hope that I'm audible enough.
Yes, you are. Thank you.
Thank you. I would like to say firstly that the assault and the brutal torture of Mazibaba and the illegal arrest that occurred right in front of the entire city, right in front of in the midst of the capital city, it shows the disdain that the ZRP has for law enforcement, for common sense, and for constitutionality and respect for our laws. It shows how much the ZRP is willing to go in as far as the disrespect of the citizens. is concerned, it shows how much militarized and toxic our political spaces have become. But that is just a symptom.
Mm. Mm. Okay, vanenge varohwa nenetwork but hatimirire ipapo. Tinonzokurudzira vakomana nevasikana kuti isusu zvatinoita manje ndezvekuti we have got a best foot forward, which is advocate Nelson Chamisa, who is our foot forward, and hatimire kusvika kutenda kuti vakomana nevasikana vezinasu vangave foma, vangave the current, vangave zvigoko zvacho, zviri kungoti Chamisa chete ngapinde ake mukomana. We can see the light in the tunnel, the changes in the horizon. As a change radio mutakure mukomana takuda kupinda Kenani.
I think I hear you again. I think I am back.
Are you ready now?
Yes, can you hear me now?
You can hear. Okay, you can continue now. Continue.
Yes, I was speaking of the three problems that Zimbabwe is facing right now as a country. I was saying that I will refrain from referring to Zimbabwe as a nation, but continue speaking of it as a country because we've never been transformed into a nation since Ian Smith left the helm of this country. But I'll speak of the three problems that are bedeviling us as a country. Number one is the militarization of our institutions, including the Zimbabwe Republic Police. It has been behaving like a part and an extension of the military junta that the government, or at least what Mnangagwa prefers to call a government of Zimbabwe is concerned. The regime in Harare has been militarized, and if you look at even the way the police force, I wouldn't call it the police service because it's behaving like a military force. It's behaving like some some rebel army that is in some probably in Juba in a war-torn country when we are supposed to be functioning as a democracy. So I think the militarization of our country is the first problem. But the two bigger problems that we're facing in Zimbabwe is the judicialization of our politics and the politicization of our judiciary. What do I mean when I say those two problems? Firstly, you realize that Mazibaba is now in court. If I am to check correctly with the comrades in Zimbabwe, Mazibaba was sent to court, I think, today on charges of undermining police authority and every other funny charge that the police could find against him. So the mere fact that a person was assaulted in police custody, a person was arrested for wearing colors and regalia of a political party of his choice, the mere fact that the courts are entertaining such nonsensical charges, such blatant and flagrant persecution of citizens in this country, it shows that the judiciary itself has been politicized. But equally, I think you have seen the reconstitution, the judicial reconstitution of certain funny political parties in Zimbabwe that are also coming up thanks to a captured judiciary again. So as long as we have that military state and political party conflation that is happening in Zimbabwe. Those three problems will continue to be deviling us. So the only solution that lies upon our eyes, the only option that we have is a permanent, total, and absolute revolution. I don't speak of revolution or only an uprising, but I also speak of the total reformation of our institutions, from the police force, which will transform itself into a true police service, from our independent judiciary, a functional parliament, functional and effective independent commissions supporting democracy. That is the only solution that will solve this problem. Because as long as we speak of the assault of Mazibaba today, we will obviously speak more of the assault of Professor Mapendere tomorrow, because we will speak of problems one by one instead of going to the root. Many of us have been in prisons. I have been in Nangagwa's dungeons of terror myself. Many people, including some of the student leaders who are here, have been there. So the moment we start isolating these problems and speaking of them as if they are just singular cases of state-sponsored terrorism on citizens, we will be probably missing the mark. But it speaks of how we need to reform our institutions, make sure that each arm of the government, each institution, particularly those independent commissions supporting democracy, because those are the most critical institutions if we want to have a stronger Zimbabwe, which is democratic, which is inclusive, and that speaks to the material realities of our people. So I think that will be all that I would say now. Thank you.
The voice of the students from Zimbabwe, from actually the voice of former Zinasu leadership, the current Zinasu leadership, and you are hearing their voice with the current situations in Zimbabwe. You know, this is our future. This is our hope, and these are the leaders of today. I wanted to say the leaders of tomorrow, but that has been debunked to say no, we are leaders of today, because we have been put on the periphery to say we are leaders of tomorrow, leaving the old guards in leadership, thinking that we'll be getting into leadership when we are old. So here we go. The man of the moment. We're waiting for the SG. Zinasu SG is here. Comrade SG, can you just put your video 1 minute, greet people, and introduce yourself? Zinasu SG, the comrade Zinasu SG, and the champion Zinasu SG. Chapindira chikomana. Zviri sei baba?
Hey, hello, Madi.
Zviri sei?
I'm okay. How's life?
Sangana nevanhu ndara watori live ipapa uri kumasaisa yakasiyana siyana. Sangana nevanhu.
Okay, thank you very much. My name is Joseph Naro. I'm the current National Secretary General of Zimbabwe National Student Union, the only student union, if not Southern Sahara, or if not the world at large.
The voice of the country. Kuti there are issues that are happening in Zimbabwe. Nyaya fees hikes and nyaya teachers are pay and stuff. What is your comment and what are you doing as a student leadership in Zimbabwe?
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much for this excellent, I think, question, because it speaks of the of a leadership crisis. It speaks of a country which is now a country that we are at a time whereby
Yes, you can go ahead. I think there was a small feedback, but you can go ahead.
Hello, thank you very much. So am I audible? Okay, I was on the current things that are happening. I was saying, as students, it's the sad moment that we have found ourselves in. We have found ourselves in a situation whereby the fees it continue to skyrocket each and every day. We have found ourselves at a time whereby the accommodation is not matching with the salaries of our parents. We have found ourselves at a moment whereby the things on the ground are not matching with the working with the wage that is given to the civil servants, because after all we are sons and daughters of civil servants. So it's a sad moment that we are in as students of Zimbabwe, and we have been trying, and we are going to try, and we will try until win, because victory is certain, and victory is the only language, is the only language that we understand. And since but in dealing with the regime, it's it's a tough road that we've been exposed to. But however, as a union, we have understood that first we've done engagement, and at a certain point in time, engagement they've failed to yield positive results. But we have also tried to make sure that you have seen that past days there have been the 10 students who have been arrested, and we have been put under a lot of torture by the regime after they protested against the recent fees hike at University of Zimbabwe. It's a sad thing. It's a sad thing, and it's a very sad thing to the democracy of Zimbabwe, because as we
DJ Prof, you're on mute.
See that. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. You can
hello hello
you can go ahead if you are back. We can
yeah
hear you.
now I'm back.
Yes.
I was saying it's we are in the road that we are traveling as students is not a good road. It's not a good road that we are traveling as students. But what we are sure of is the victory at the end of the day, because we have been trying to engage. One, we have tried to engage, but at certain point the engagement have failed. But we've also gone to the extra mile of trying to make sure that we show that we are not happy with the current fees. We show that we are not happy with the accommodation that is increasing each and every day. We have tried to make sure that we are not happy even with the living wage that is being given to the teacher, to our parents, the rest of our parents in who are civil servants. We've tried to make sure that we coin or intertwine the salaries and with our current struggles. We've tried to make sure that we even demonstrated last week, and 10 students were arrested, and sadly one of them was a girl, and the regime could understand that what we were doing was noble, couldn't understand that we were only students trying to fight for the betterment of a student, or for the welfare of our or for the welfare of the students on campus. So engagements, demonstrations, and we've tried also make sure that we even find the alternative. We even find the alternative. But above all, the key question is a leadership question, a leadership crisis that we have as a country. So in trying to address that, we have managed to make sure that all over the Zimbabwean institutions of higher learning, we've tried uh, to drive campaigns, voter education campaigns, because we believe at the back of Zinasu, we believe that we need to make sure that we make as many people register to vote, because in the ballot, that's where we find free education. In the ballots, that's where the question to do with the crises are addressed. So we have tried to make sure that we address one through making sure that we do engagements. We address the issue of this crisis through making sure that we do demonstrations. We have tried to address these questions at a larger role, larger platform, by addressing the issue of voter education, voter registration, and voting on the day. I think that's what I can say for now.
Thank you. You spoke of the issue of demonstration, SG, and you spoke of also about the engagements. obviously after engagement, and the engagement fail, then you go into demonstration. But few weeks or few weeks ago, we saw some, or if not majority of you, being arrested for demonstrating for that fees hike. Any comment before I give my colleague? I've got my colleague here that I maybe want to ask one question or two. Before I give to her, just comment on that. What is your result in terms of the arrests that are happening if you demand, or you go and demonstrate to demand something that is a national question to everyone?
Obviously, first and foremost, we are not happy as a union. We are not happy when some of our fellow students are arrested. But what we are happy with is the cause that are they arrested for. We are happy that we have shown the world that in a country which is like this, where students wish to their grievance to be addressed, because we thought that instead of arresting students, the institutions of higher learning, or the people that works there, were supposed to address the issues. We are supposed to address the issue of accommodation. They were supposed to even to address the issue of fees hike. They're supposed to address the issue of a failed online system. So we think before they started to arrest the students, they were supposed to arrest the issues, because every student, when he or she comes to school, his or her sole mandate is to learn and to receive education. So, and it is enshrined in the 2013 book, the 2013 constitution, that the education should be affordable to the students. So, one, we are not happy with the arrest. Secondly, it shows to the world how the system responds when students ask from their parents that they should lower lower the fees, or they should increase. They should make sure that they increase the way, like they increase how we live in this country. So, as a union, I said first, we are not happy about it. Secondly, it managed to create many fighters within the students, because by arresting students, we are simply increasing their faith in making sure that one way or the other will achieve the goal which is free education at the end of the day.
Great. That's wonderful. Wonderful. Leader Stella, do you have any questions for the students?
Yes, maybe I could propose a question that I think many of our viewers might be interested to hear what the students think about the announcement by Mai Coupe. I've noticed a couple of comments mentioning the Mai Coupe issue. What is the position of students, whether as Zinasu or just personal opinions on the announcement that was made by Mai Coupe?
SG, start by you.
Uh, to answer the question, I would say in the Constitution of Zimbabwe, in the Constitution of Zimbabwe National Students Union, we go by progressive forces. We support the values of democracy. We support the values of choice. But and at the moment, we can't have a direct comment directed to what Mama Kupe does. But it will be a recommendation from the union that, for that question, we in good faith, it was supposed to be addressed to CCC leadership and to the leadership of other progressive forces?
I know. When it comes to final decision in terms of what you think, or yeah, we end up being as if we are speaking for the Triple C, but we are just giving our own opinion. Students are giving their own opinion. Viewers and listeners, I think from the IT department, if you can flight some questions, more like some questions or comments from the viewers and listeners, so that if the students have to be asked questions, they can be able to answer those questions. Then as we move, can you just try to flight some questions for us, or so that we can try to move? I'll come back to you now after this break. Zimbabwe. Kuitika munyika yezimbabwe asi usikakanganika kuti nyika yakuipinda muchange, change is in the horizon. Nyika yava kuchinjwa kuita yelo, anzi yelo bone yenyika tinokudai gono mutungamiriri akabva kuna mwari sara ikutanga nezora inogare baba makarwa kurwa pakanaka tichikura ndaiwanzokuteerera maichisamba ndaingoti ndikanzwa kumachisamba vakuti chatsuka chikakwata kuvoza kuti tasvika kwamburecheka makumbo tiri kusigira isikatisikiwe namangoyi kuroverwa nguva dzedu pasvinenge zvakunakidza paipai ndo padzinokwadza kuti dzabva zapera akomana inikai chisamba machisa ezoko arekandipe mukana unoyo kune each and every guest watanga tinaye. I think kutanga chero anyone kuti vatipe mazuva ake kupedzisira. Anyone from you guys? Tapiwa? Can start with you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Prof. Maybe what I could say as a parting shot is that 26 March is just a reflection of what is to come in 2023. The citizens have to protect their voice. They have to protect their future. They have to protect the sanctity, and they have to protect the sanctity of their voice, of their vote, and most importantly, protect, promote, and make sure that they participate in their democracy. Why do I say that? 2023 is coming, and this can only be a mini general election and a rehearsal for what is to come. Yes, intimidation is coming. More violation of our fundamental rights is coming. But what choice do we have? We will either die or protect the little that we have in as far as our democracy is concerned. So yes, the young people of this country stand ready to defend this country. We are patriots, and most importantly, we love to protect this democracy. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Nancy? Is Nancy still with us? SG?
Yes, I'm here, Prof. I'm here.
Your last word, just 1.5 minutes. Your last word, just, yeah.
2.5. I need just half a minute. Favorite parting
Okay.
shots, because the message is clear. We only have one solution to all our problems, which is to register to vote in our numbers. Never be discouraged by this rigging, whatever. Yes, rigging can be there. Yes, they can try and rig. But as long as we are united, we can fight the results of rigging. The rigged results won't determine our future this time around. This time tinotopedzerana vedu vekumapeni ngatisvike ngatiende tinovhota. Let's vote in our numbers. To all the young people out there, it's our duty to secure a better future for ourselves and for our children, and also for our parents, our grandparents, and all. So let's register to vote in our numbers. Students out there, let's register to vote, because young people are not registering to vote. Trust me, if we had about 800,000 people in Harare registering to vote and voting last time, we would have won the election. Even if they had rigged, they wouldn't win. So we just need a few more numbers. 1 million more voters would do a long way. So let's mobilize. Pega pauri, kuchkoro, kubasa, kuchurch. Just check whether the next person is registered. Let's register to vote. Let's also vote, and let's come back to defend our vote. That's my message, and thank you everyone for listening. Bye.
Thank you so much. And SG?
Hello.
Yes, your last.
Okay, my last word to Zimbabwe is this: that I've seen many myths in this life, but never would I second with someone who will say that free education is a myth, because I believe that these are the questions of the time, questions of the real time, because people need to know that it's not a myth. It happened in Zambia, and they now enjoy free education. It happens in other countries whereby it's part of the parliament to discuss issues to do with free education. So I believe that come 26 or come 2023, students all over Zimbabwe should vote their free education into office, and they should register, vote, and defend that vote at one particular point in time. Thank you very much.
Kune vakomana nevasikana vezinasu vanga vainesu pachirongwa chedu nhasi uno tachikurukura nemastudents chikamunzwa kuti pfungwa dzavo dziri kuti what are they thinking about the situation in Zimbabwe, what are they thinking about the wave of change that is across the whole country, what are they thinking about even the current situation where the teachers and the exorbitant price and fees that are being charged in Zimbabwe, what is their take and what are their comments. And you have heard, viewers and listeners, what they have said, and that's exactly what they meant. And I'm a former from this movement. I'm a former from this union. When we say a thing, we mean a thing. So guys, thank you so much for being with us. Muchapiwa corona imim. Corona chete nekuti munodadisa makazviita pamasvingo, makazviita kwamutanga, mukazviita pabhuruwayo, mukazviita pagokwe, apa kokwe mukavhiringidza, muchapiwa corona imi. Tinodada nemi, hanzi tinongodai just a little bit kumobilize kuti vanhu vaende kunovhota, kuti vanhu varejeste kuvhota, kangodaro chete garo raenda. Tatotora corona mukomana muofisi, hanzi kupinda kupinda kwake kupinda kwangu inini. On behalf of the technical team and Change Radio Zimbabwe, I would like to say thank you so much for everyone who's been with us. Zinasu Tabuda. See you next time. Bye bye, everyone. Anything that you want to say, Leader Stella?
Oh, nothing much. Just thank you so much, and remember to register to vote.
Thank you so much. Bye bye, everyone.
Bye bye.